And now here in the studio, I've got Jill from TEDx Breckenridge. Jill, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
It's good to have you come by. Now, can you tell people a little bit about some of the highlights from last year's TEDx Breckenridge? My understanding that was the first year, and what a year to be the first.
Yeah, exactly. What a year to have our inaugural year. In spite of COVID, we pulled it off. We did end up creating a virtual experience, as well as a really small limited live experience at the Riverwalk Center, which is where we'll be again this year.
Well, good. I mean, yeah. I think it's really great that you guys made that happen last year. It was definitely a year where people could use some inspirational talks, and I think people are going to be really looking forward to this year being able to get back into the Riverwalk Center and checking you guys out. Now, what is the theme for this year's TEDx Breckenridge?
So the theme this year is expand, and you can look at that in so many different ways. We made the topic broad on purpose because we think it can fit a number of different things, and it also addresses some of the solutions I think that we created throughout the pandemic in terms of expanded thinking, expanding our way of approaching, all kinds of different solutions.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to provoke a lot of interesting talks and conversations. I think you're so right as far as what this past year has kind of enlightened us all too.
Yeah, exactly.
In a way. Now, are people still able to apply to talk at this year's TEDx?
Yes, which is why I'm here today. We have just a small window to apply. The deadline is Saturday at midnight.
So tomorrow.
Tomorrow. There's like 40 hours left to apply. So if you have an idea that you'd like to share, please, you can apply on our website at TEDx Breckenridge.
Okay, can you just kind of elaborate just a little bit on maybe some potential topics underneath the theme expand, because it is pretty broad.
I'll give you a couple of things that I've seen that have come in. There's the concept of going inward, actually, going small to go big, if you will. How can you expand awareness by going inside? There are talks about our healthcare system, how our healthcare system has expanded its capacity and how it thinks about solutions in order to deal with the pandemic, what have you. So I think that it really could be, we're actually looking for a broad range of things. We don't want it to be too finite. We want people to be able to think about how this topic lands with them and what they could creatively create with that topic in mind.
That's excellent. And how have the applications for speakers been so far? Do you guys have a good pool of speakers coming in?
We do. It's really, we have such an amazing community, not just people who live in the community full-time, but people who have any type of connection with Summit County. We would love for them to apply. And so it creates a really amazing collection of voices and ideas. So absolutely, we have about 100 or so applications right now. We're expecting that last year, this last stretch, we did get quite a few. So we'll probably be, 100, 150 range of applications is what we're thinking.
I'm sure there's a number of people who, I think it doesn't matter what it is, there's always a bunch of people who apply last minute.
Yeah, for sure.
So now can you tell me a little bit more details about the event as far as how many speakers, time, location, tickets, all that stuff?
So there will be 10 speakers that will feature. Each will have a 10-minute talk. It is, like I said, going to be at Riverwalk Center on October 2nd. So we'll be announcing the speakers at the end of this month. I think we'll be back to give a little preview of who the speakers will be.
Excellent. Well, perfect.
To share.
Excellent. Now, besides looking for speakers, anything else that we should know about the organization? Because again, last year was the first year that you had TEDx Breckenridge, and I think it proved to be very beneficial and necessary in the community.
Absolutely. So this is something that we want to bring to the community long term, and to that end, we are looking for long-term sponsors. And we are a not-for-profit organization. We're comprised of 100% volunteers, and so we do need the community's support to make it happen. Any donation helps, any amount. You can donate on our website, tedxbreckenridge.com, and we'd love to find some sponsors who'd like to partner with us this year in particular, who want to be connected to ideas worth spreading, creating innovative thought within the community, We are actually putting logos inside just the 10 videos that will live on the TED site forever.
Okay.
So it's a really cool opportunity to connect your brand to the TED brand, which is a cool opportunity.
Yeah, so I think it's great as far as like, you know, if you don't feel comfortable in applying to talk, you can basically endorse and sponsor and say this is important.
Absolutely.
Now again, finally before we check out, again, where can people go to apply to talk and where can people go to find out about sponsorships and donations?
Yeah, so everything is on our website, TEDxBreckenridge.com. You can apply to speak there. You can get in touch with us about sponsorship, you can donate, and you can also volunteer to help support the event, day of the event as well. So check that out.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Jill, for coming into this studio. It's good to see you in person, and looking forward to the TEDx Breckenridge talk in October.
Likewise, thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely.